Alright, Part 1507, Agency Compliance. Compliance, Agency Compatibility, Comply, Agency Procedures. 1507-1, Compliance. All agencies of the federal government shall comply with these regulations, and with the regulations to allow each extent flexibility, adapting, implementing procedures authorized in 1507-3, the requirements of other applicable laws. 1507-2, with the agency capability to comply, each agency shall be capable in terms of the personnel and other resources for complying with the requirements of the enumerated below, such as the compliance with the may include the use of the other resources, but using agencies that shall have itself have sufficient capability to evaluate what others to do. An agency shall fulfill the requirements of the Section 1022A and with this act utilize with a systematic interdisciplinary approach which ensure the integrated use of the natural and social science with environmental design, arts, and planning of the decision making which may have the impact of the human environment. Agency shall designate a person to be responsible for the overall review of the agency of the National Environmental Policy Act compliance. Identified method of the procedure required by the Section 1022B with the ensure the presently unqualified environmental amenities values may be given an appropriate consideration. Preparing adequate environmental impact statement to pursue with the Section 1022C. Comments of the statement in the area of the where the agency has jurisdiction by law and special expertise to authorize, develop, and enforce environmental standards. Study and develop the described alternatives. Recommended course for the action. Any of the personnel proposal which involve the unresolved the conflicts for the concerning alternative use available to reach for the risk of the requirements of Section 1022E extends to all such proposals, not just more than limited in scope of Section 1022C3, with the decision alternatives are confined to impact statement that comply with the requirements of the Section 1022H of the agency initiative to utilize the ecological information for the planning, developing resource-oriented projects. The fulfill requirements of the Section 1022F and 1022G and 1022I of this Act and Executive Order 1151 for protection, enhancement, environmental quality, Section 2. Alright, 1507, the agency procedure. No later than 8 months after the publication of the regulation, final adopted with the Federal Register of the 5 months after the establishment of the agency, whichever they have come later, each of the agency has necessary to adopt the procedure for the supplement of these regulations with the agency, the department, and major. Subunits are encouraged with the consistent with the department to adopt their own procedure. The sub-procedure for the non-paraphrase these regulations. They confine themselves with the implementing procedure for each agency to consult with the council with the developing procedure for the before publishing them in the Federal Register for the comment agency. Similar programs could consult with the age of the with the council with the coordinate their procedure, especially for the program requesting similar information for the applicant. The procedure shall adopt only after the opportunity for the public review and after the review of the council with the conformity of the act with this act. These regulations with the council shall complete with a review within 30 days. Once of the act they shall be filed with the council made readily available to the public agency and encouraged to publish explanatory guidance of these regulations of their own procedure for the agency, but they shall continue the review of the policy and procedure for the consultation with the council to provide them as necessary to ensure full compliance with the purpose of the provision of this act. Agency procedures shall comply with the regulations except for the compliance with would not be inconsistent with the statutory requirements shall include the purpose of prescribing the 15012D, 15029C3, 1505 15066E, 15084. Specific criteria for the identification of the typical class of the action, which normally do require environmental impact statement, which normally do not require either environmental impact statement, environmental assessment, categorical exclusion, 15084, which normally require environmental assessment but a necessary environmental impact statement. Agency procedures may include with the specific criteria for the provided limited exemption with the provisions of the regulation classified proposed with the proposed action with the specifically authorized under criteria established by the executive order statute to be kept secret interest of the national defense foreign policy when they are in fact properly classified pursuant to subject of the executive order statute environmental assessment. Impact statements which address the classified proposal may be safeguarded with the restriction of the public dissemination in the corner of the agency for the own regulation applicable to class information. The documents may be the organized classified portion that may include the annexes in order the unclassified portion that can be available to the public agency. Procedure for the may provide for any period of time any other presented within 15.6.10 when necessary to comply with the other specific statutory requirements. And then agency procedure that may provide whether a lengthy period between the agency decision to prepare an environmental impact statement and the time actual preparation notice of the intent is required. 15017 that may be published with a reasonable time in advance for the preparation of the draft statement. Alright, 1508 is terminology and index. So we're going to cut the tape there, and that's going to be a pretty lengthy section.